Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to week 3, the end of week 3 of the 2026 Winter League. And this is our position round week, our first one. So all 4 of our players here have the same number of points. They've got 8 points, I think. This is, right, this is group 2. So everyone here has a first place and a second place. I think that's right. So someone will correct me, but so we're gonna get a super evenly matched race here, all ranked 7. Oh right, seven in the standings. That's why I was second guessing myself, because it was 7 next to all of their names. But we're gonna get a race here that's super evenly matched, and all of these are really serious top ranked players who are all gonna do an incredible job. And this is a remarkable flag set. I always love the vanilla map week, and that's what we have here. So it's the vanilla map, not the randomized map, but the map that's been around since the 1980s. And there's also the spell learning is vanilla. The chest contents are vanilla. The searches are vanilla. There's also that warp whistle and the pay experience points to run. So this is like a super low variance flag set has been my experience with it. Maybe one of the highest skill flag sets I've ever seen, because there's just so few opportunities to get really lucky. There's some weird stuff in there too. Like there's so many weird flags in this that it's hard to even keep track of them all. You're gonna see in those starting chests is just gonna be gold, torch, and key, because that's what they contain in vanilla. So nothing to write home about there. That gold might come in handy if they start next to a shop. That key might come in handy. Well, the key they use to get out, but the torch might come in handy if they have low strength. And it looks like they're starting up next to the vanilla Garenham spot way up there in the northwest, which is a pretty good starting spot. It's not the absolute easiest, because you do have to step a little bit out of the safe zones to get to the other spots, but it's nowhere near as bad as like the Cantlin start. And they're picking up ghosts and stuff already and getting a huge strength gain on level 2. It looked like 23 strength. So already these scorpions are on the table, and Destiny's thinking about it. He decides not to and runs away. That's not what I would have done, because there's what is Destiny doing here? Ziggy takes the death, which is what I would have done. Zylynor is going to try and fight the scorpion. Destiny's going back into save. He's still on level 2, while Zylynor is going to grab level 3 with 4 strength, 9 agility, 5 hit points, and 4 MP. Okay, so yeah, Destiny might be trying to... He wants to make the walk to Tablet Cave, but he doesn't want to risk losing XP, or he wants to be able to reset out of any XP that he loses on the walk, which is a clever strategy. And there's 22 strength, 11 agility, 8 hit points, and 13 MP at level 4. So these stats are coming in very quickly. And what cave was that? Was that the Swamp Cave? And it looks like Destiny may have reset out of that. Let's see, and there's level 5 with more moderate gains as Zylynor is hitting these kind of mid-early level enemies in the desert here. Man, this is moving quickly. Zylynor is already taking on these wolves, while Juef is over in these forest tiles trying to hit the north-south zone, where he's found metal scorpions, which are a good target. He's even swinging on them rather than using hurt, just how high that strength is. They rolled way up to 39 because that's another flag that's on is the, I guess they call it like standardized or balanced XP or something, but it's just that the monsters have experience yields that are sort of random. They're around the vanilla one or around the standard flags ones, rather. Yeah, Aaron calls it fun XP. There's not really a good name for it, but it is. They'll be around where they normally are, but they might be a little higher, might be a little lower. Some of them prefer to be higher. Some of them prefer to be lower. Like the Star Wyverns usually roll way up. Some other stuff usually rolls down. But those metal scorpions are looking pretty delicious. Normalized, yeah, is the standard name, and there's 12, 7, 22, and 2 on level 6. These level ups are incredible. We might have a really early. Well, it won't matter if we have an early go because we've got vanilla spell levels, so they're not going to be going anywhere till level 17 anyway. Ziggy takes a death there. And Destinyo gets a tablet cave, so there's nothing at all in there because of the vanilla chests. There's vanilla chests in this, and in vanilla, the tablet cave has that stupid tablet that gives you like plot, and that's not in randomizer at all. Instead, it's replaced with a dragon scale. And you're not going to walk all the way down tablet cave just for a dragon scale that you can buy somewhere else. Zylynor, though, gets level 7 and grabs the sleep spell. Had some more stat gains there. While the wolves rolled up too, 43. There's Remolder already for Juef, so he's going to have his keys. We might get to find out what the cave under Tantagel is. Besides that, you can get the gold in the Tantagel treasury. Be a whole pile of gold. The shops are vanilla, so we know what we have here in Remolder for gear. You can get that broadsword. You can get that full plate. There are no shields. But if you really save up, you can maybe buy that magic armor, which might come in handy. But the thing is, you also know where Erdrick's armor is, so that magic armor, unless you can get it really easily, unless you got like your gold grind, ready to go. We're also going to see this other cave here next to Remolder as Ziggy catches up and makes it there. Let me see what these stats were at 7 because I missed it. There's 3, 5, 2, and 4. Okay. The Stones of Sunlight. And the other flag that we're going to start seeing coming up more and more as they gain levels is the agility out of 256 critical hits. So normally critical hits are a 1 in 32 chance to happen. Or something like that. I think it's 1 in 32. In this flag set, the odds of a critical hit are your agility divided by 256, which even from level 1 is probably going to be better than vanilla, and by go level is going to be way better than vanilla, ridiculously better. It ends up coming to like between 1 in 5 and 1 in 4 most of the time to get a critical hit, and critical hits are really powerful in this game. So that's probably the highest of all these flags in this flag set that make it sort of low variance. The critical hit situation is quite high variance. You can get away with a lot if you roll crits at the right time, but even if you get it to that 1 in 4, you can still go 10 in a row and not get one. Yeah, I guess Destiny got excellent dodged by the Drakima, so that happens sometimes. Gonna see a lot more of those than usual. And here's level 8 for Destiny. It's got 7 strength, 8 agility, 2 hit points, and 6 MP. So the stats not slowing down too much. They're still coming in that strength. At level 8, we already have 84 strength. That's going to come into play when these runners first find the mountain cave, because we already know the only stuff in that mountain cave that's worth mentioning is the death necklace and the fighter's ring. And when you've got this much strength, do you even bother for either of those? Juef gets a green dragon with a little help from critical hits, and the green dragon rolled up as well, giving 155. And yeah, the blue dragon here taking notes from the bluest blue dragon and breathing the DL2 breath. Sending Zylynor home, but he's going to open up these gold chests and maybe buy some gear. Not a lot of gear on the board right now, just a hand axe for Juef. There's Brecconary for Juef. I'm not sure. He's going to go get herbs. Really not much else. I guess you could grab a small shield since there's no shields in Remolder. Zylynor is going to show us the back here. And it is the mountain cave, and Zylynor goes in. So yeah, Beta and chat saying no reason to dive mountain cave. Don't say that to Zylynor. He's going to go for it and grab his fighter's ring. Thanks to that high strength, we managed to escape the start without the running cost experience hurting our runners too bad. That can make for really nasty starting jails. Here, Ziggy is in Cantlin, which is pretty significant, and he has his keys, so he'll be able to get his coordinates. Gonna have to click heal a few times, but that's okay. Dodging the I know nothing girl. That's 2-1, 26 hit points and 3 MP at level 8. 9, level 9. So yeah, that HP starting to look nice. Maybe you do want that that death necklace that Zylynor is going for. It might just activate. Although for it to make the difference in this seed, the attack power would really have to stall. And Zylynor takes the death there. I suspect that was on purpose. And he's going to get a gold grind going. Yeah, heading for the treasury right now. He was opening up all those chests down below. Now he's going to farm up some gold. Question is, I don't think he has seen Cantlin. That's the only place you're going to be able to buy a silver shield, and that's the main thing that you want from the gold grind. Juef is going to get his coordinates. Looks like it is 9 south, 96 east. That's going to be way, way over. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's right by coal, right west of coal. Vanilla coal spot, at least. No, Utah Monarch, there is no chance, I would say, that any of these runners will be rescuing the princess, because on the vanilla map, you can just use this special tool that Juef created, where you can just type in your coordinates and it shows you exactly on the vanilla map where they are. And that's perfectly tournament legal. I mean, if it weren't for that, you could just open up the map on a, in your browser and count with your fingers. So that tool just makes it a little more convenient. Here, I think Juef is just about to grab it. No, he didn't. It's in the swamp cave. Maybe he already grabbed it? And he takes a death there in the swamp cave and gets sent home. Yeah, it's weird that Juef wouldn't just grab the token while he was there. He's in the mountain cave, and looks like we're going to get another mountain cave dive here. Meanwhile, Ziggy emerges from the swamp cave in the Remolder spot, immediately runs into a red dragon, eats the experience point loss against it, does the same for a Star Wyvern, really just wants to cover this map. My preferred strategy for this flag set is to just kind of advance from grind to grind and get to level 17 as quickly as you possibly can, and then, play the game. But it looks like Ziggy is leaning a little more toward early exploration, as are some of these other runners. And here, it's a Metal Slime who becomes really appealing when you have that enhanced critical hit chance, but they're not coming up for Ziggy, and the Metal Slime gets away. Here, Juef is trying one. Maybe he'll get a little luckier. There's the critical hit. Obliterates the slime for many times its hit point maximum. And Juef gains 255 experience. And looks like Ziggy has found Garen's grave, so he's going to have his harp in due time as long as nothing strikes him down. Zylynor shows no mercy to the fairy water girl in Breckenary. And Destiny acquires the Death Necklace disguised as a silver shield thanks to the gold glitch. Yeah, it looks like Ziggy is very deliberately setting up for a gold grind here in Garen's grave, planning on dying out after he gets his silver harp. He opened a couple of extra chests to make sure he has enough open to set up the gold grind. And Destiny is gold grinding right down here in the mountain cave. And Juef destroys the treasury guard to make sure there are no witnesses to his plundering as he gold grinds. Zylynor is about to learn his coordinates. We'll see how long it takes for him to get that token. Looks like Juef still doesn't have his. Destiny going all the way on this gold grind, up at 24,000 and still climbing. He calls it off at 26,000. That's short of the 33,000 for Flame Sword, Magic Armor, Silver Shield. That'll get him Silver Shield, Flame Sword for sure. Yeah, Juef won't lose time on this because he's going to go there anyway where the token is, unless he completely forgets, in which case it will definitely lose some time. Yeah, that's a good thought from Velia V. With how high the strength is in this seed, you're starting to think about, maybe if I get that Flame Sword, I don't need Erdrick's Sword at all. Which is important, because like we know exactly where Erdrick's Sword is. We know it's in Charlock. We know you have to go out of your way. So, and we know that you're going to have to grind to 17 anyway. So maybe if by level 17, you know, there's 100 strength, it's not that far of a reroute, but you could make the difference in a close race, and this flag set can produce some close races. There's Zylynor grabs his token. And is gonna check the spike tile here. I like this play, but it's that blue dragon. It is casting stop spell, but it's also breathing fire. So maybe not the grind. Maybe we wait and see what's on Hawksness. It goes down and is worth 150, so it rolled down too. It's kind of a crummy grind. Now, Ziggy, it looks like the gold grind is there's a gold grind consensus in this seed, as now Ziggy is doing his, but still no silver shields on the board. And Juef finds the Staff of Rain trade-in cave in Garenham, which is at the Mountain Cave spot. So that's nice and far away from the grave, which I think was on the second continent. And Juef is going to try these hills. There was one of the earlier races this week. These particular hills right around the Mountain Cave spot were very pivotal with this exact enemy, this metal slime. What do you mean you've seen it before? It's brand new. This could be absolutely huge, pivotal moment for Juef, but he abandons it pretty quickly, gets antsy. He already has the experience lead and could have made that experience lead absolutely indomitable if he had stuck with that. Destiny, however, has found the Armored Knight, gets a critical hit there, and takes it down. It's worth 189, so a little bit higher than usual. Zylynor gets his harp. There were 16 more hit points on level 10, so that HP number is really climbing. And Juef has located Hawksness, which will contain the armor. He has 114 hit points, and he's up against a red dragon. It's chanting Hurt More, and he doesn't have that magic armor, but he stop spells it. So this is a little bit tactical. If you can just roll a critical hit, you don't need anything else. But then it jumps him. Man, he just swings, hoping for that crit. But he gets knocked down to 29. Runs away again. Gonna keep trying. Gonna use those herbs to get back up to full without using MP. Now he gets the first move. Uses stop spell, blocks the red dragon spell, but then it uses just an attack. But he gets the critical hit, and then it rolls Hurt More, and now this red dragon is for dinner. Only worth 260, which is a massive roll down. But Juef gets Erdrick's armor. Still probably better than that blue dragon. It's just a little rough because, what can happen is that red dragon is so strong and you don't have heal more. So you can, the red dragon, if you get bad rolls, if you don't roll those crits, you can just lose and have to run away and end up losing experience. And it's, even with 116 HP, those guys can really mess with you. But with Erdrick's armor, if they're casting Hurt More a lot, you don't take that much damage. Zylynor finds the Jerk Cave in the Vanilla Swamp South spot on Second Continent, and Ziggy has our first Silver Shield on the board. Destiny has decided to go all in on the Metal Slime Hills. Here, that's going to be his play. Or no, he's leaving. Going to go back into Garenham, maybe top up. And the big item that is not on anyone's tracker so far is Fairy Flute, which is going to be found in Coal and is going to be a pivotal item in terms of traversing the seed at endgame when they're turning in all of their homework and trying to get to their grinds. Man, you just wish it was those greens on one of those spikes. A green dragon for 155 is phenomenal, and there's 14 agility and 10 more hit points on level 12. That hit point number is already up to 126. And there's Cole, speak of the devil, in the Vanilla Cantland spot, way, way, way out at the end of the world. And Juef does not take the inn there, so that will not be on his Warp Whistle rotation, which is probably smart. So we've really got a division between the top and bottom halves of your screen, where Destiny and Juef on the bottom have the experience advantage, but have more of their homework to do, while Zylynor and Ziggy, the Z players on top, already have all of their homework items, but are behind on experience, not by a huge amount. But they also don't have their armor yet. Well, Destiny's about to get his. Juef already has his. I think the real difference there was probably more about which way they decided to explore first. And it looks like Zylynor is about to hit Hawksness here and get his armor, although it might be a heavy lift at level 10. Destiny really doesn't want to run away here, because if he does, he'll drop below level 12 by 1 point. And there's Ryguy with the raid. What's up, Ryguy people? We're here in this week 3 race on the vanilla map. Juef and Destiny. Juef has his armor. Destiny's trying to get his armor from this red dragon, but the running costs experience flag is causing him complications, as he was once level 12 and is now only level 11. And there's Ziggy's grabbing his Staff of Rain, so we're going to see rainbow drops on the board soon for those top 2 players, while Juef is walking through his swamp cave on his way, probably to getting the harp out of grave. No, Juef is going to the spike tile here. He probably hasn't seen it yet. It's a blue dragon with deal 2 breath. And that gives less experience than normal. Those werewolves, though, are delicious. 111 for a werewolf is way better than standard flags. Oh no, I was misreading the layout of Swamp Cave. He was just walking through. I'm gonna get a nice critical hit on this golem thanks to agility and 256 crits. Bring it down in 2 swings. That is worth 377, even more than normal. And will further cement Juef's experience lead, as Zylynor is trying to get through the red dragon and get his Erdrick's armor, and he will succeed. Or no, he already got it. He's grinding the red dragon. Now Ziggy's about to get his armor. So that's, man, I couldn't tell you who's in the lead right now. I'd say Juef is definitely ahead of Destiny. And Zylynor is definitely ahead of Ziggy. But it's hard to call between Juef and Zylynor. Man, 14 agility there at level 12. Boosting those crits even higher. Notably, Zylynor does not have a flame sword, only a broadsword. Doesn't have a silver shield either. Pretty sure he gold grinded. Destiny must not have found Cantland yet at all. He doesn't have any of his purchasable gear. The tracker doesn't even... Destiny must have Erdrick's armor, right? Unless he totally gave up on that red. He does not. Okay, yeah, that's Destiny's in trouble here. And yeah, a lot of walking to do, even with Warp Whistle on. There's no convenient location. You know, the closest you can flute, I think, is to Garenham, which is in the Mountain Cave spot. And Hawksness is in the Hawksness spot, so... Yeah, and he'll refill here and get a warp point he doesn't need. Yeah, it's, this race is not going Destiny's way. Unfortunately, that red dragon didn't cooperate, didn't roll the crit when he needed it. Juef is about to get his silver harp even, so he's in a good spot, as Zylynor is about to get his fairy flute. As those it'll be exciting here to see Zylynor and Juef converge and see who's really ahead. I think it should be Juef. But choice of grind could have a big impact here. They got a lot of grinding to do to get to level 17. And grind options are not obvious in this one. That blue dragon with DL2 breath is nasty and doesn't give a lot. The red dragon with hurt more is kind of nasty and doesn't give a whole lot. Beta's pointing out the golem might be good. Ziggy's looking really good on experience points now. So he might actually now be well ahead of Zylynor. He has his armor and he's got the silver shield and all his gear. And is now going to get his flute, so yeah, Ziggy looking like the one who is really contesting juef here for the lead of the race, but now juef is going to get his Staff of Rain, and now there's nothing that any other runner has that he doesn't, I don't think. Yes, Gabriel Dreamer, the golems, because of the quote-unquote normalized experience flag, enemies give different amounts of experience, and the golems rolled up, and I think it's 377. Juef already level 17, doesn't look like it, or already level 14, excuse me. Doesn't look like it was a huge level. Decent amount of MP on it. Did get him up over Death Necklace HP in case, you know, you wanted to put that Death Necklace on, maybe if you really didn't want to get Erdrick. So Zylynor, I think, is committing to the Red Dragon here, which may cost him. Juef is popping up out of Swamp Cave, probably on his way to get his drop, and we'll see if he settles into a grind or if he goes into Charlock. See what he does. It's a good question, RG. How much time does it take? Obviously depends on what encounters you get, or if you're like me and you bonk 500 times, that'll cost a little bit of time. Doesn't feel like it takes a hugely long time. Now Ziggy also taking this Red Dragon grind, slightly ahead of Zylynor on experience. And Juef is taking the little Remulder Desert Bridge as his grind spot, which has red dragons and I believe golems, which are better than the red dragons. The downside, of course, being that it is a wild zone, so you'll get encounters at a lower rate than if you were on a spike tile, and there'll also be junk mixed in, like the Druin Lords that Juef won't be able to repel until he learns repel on level 15. So we'll see who gets to level 15 first. Should be Juef. He's pretty far ahead. About 600 ahead of Ziggy. But here Ziggy's finding the golems right in Hawksness. So he might be able to maybe mount a comeback here. Oh, but there's also armored knights in this zone. They're pretty good. 189. So we got this zone with golems, red dragons, and armored knights. And there's the druid lords thinking they're on the team. And Juef is the first to level 15, and he will get 5 strength, 7 hit points, 3 MP, 0 agility, and that repel spell. So now those Druid Lords will be a memory. We will not see one again unless Juef lets the repel drop and forgets to put it back up. Yeah, Beta, I'm 99% sure that the zone boundary is where the sandy part meets the island. So if you're walking on the sand, you'll always get the same enemies. Destiny just now learning his coordinates. Did he buy a silver shield or has he died? No, yeah, he hasn't died. Destiny has not died. He is on 0 deaths, not a single one. So yeah, he did get his silver shield and flame sword. That's a shame. Destiny has been playing such a disciplined game that he has not died a single time, but he's so far behind the field here. Definitely in last place at the moment. Probably needs some calamity to befall at least one of the other runners to stay in this one. And look at that, Ziggy has just about caught up to Juef on experience, so it looks like there is some merit to using Hawksness for your grind zone here. But it could be that as we cycle through the RNG and Juef maybe gets more golems, that'll help him keep ahead. Also, Ziggy is playing music for the golems, which will probably slow him down a little bit. Juef, knows the real strategy was just to roll 2 critical hits and get level 16 that way. With 2 strength, 3 agility, 4 hit points, 14 MP. And yeah, I'd say there's no chance that we go beyond level 17. These stats are starting to look pretty comfortable. Yeah, the stats are pretty good, but they're not so extreme that you would feel totally safe not grabbing the sword. Well, I don't know. You got, let's see, 98 MP, 130 attack power with flame sword, but you can put on the death necklace and bump that to 140, which is like, yeah, I mean, 140 attack power is crazy. You know, with 12 heal mores, you fear nothing. And there's still another level. So yeah, let's see. Juef is out of there. He's done grinding. He's gonna buy herbs, and Ziggy is also in Cantlin. He's gonna heal up. We'll see if he goes back on the grind or if he's gonna maybe get it on the way down. So you can kind of choose between, you know, you don't get the sword, and you've got 140 attack power with Death Necklace on, or you do get the sword and you got 142 attack power without the Death Necklace on, and you're getting doubles, which is just massive overkill. So the question is, does that massive overkill save you enough time to be worth walking that far out of your way? And I'm not totally convinced. I think in this case I wouldn't go for Erdrick's sword. Me personally, but yeah, we'll see. See what the runners decide on. Ziggy is going to get his rainbow drop now. We'll see what he does after that. Juef bypasses the desert bridge, does not want to resume his grind there, and is taking this red dragon on the way, so I think we can assume that he's going to try and pass 12,000 experience points while diving Charlock. There is a 0% chance that level 17 will not be a go level. This is a fairly safe maneuver as long as you're confident that it won't cost you healing resources. And but Juef is kind of a machine when it comes to this. He won a race in one of the earlier weeks by gaining 3 levels in Charlock, and that was not the one with level up refill, and then winning the game. So, but Ziggy, while Juef is occupied by this blue dragon, takes the lead on the foot race to Charlock. So this might end up being pretty exciting. Juef is closer to level 17. So the race for first place here is going to be pretty exciting. Ziggy and Juef going to be on the dive together. Possibly, we'll see if they end up in the Dragon Lord fight together. Juef ahead by now about 500-ish experience points, that ebbing and flowing with each enemy that pops up. And Ziggy, occupied by a Star Wyvern, will be the second to enter Charlock. Both runners entering around 47 minutes. Juef takes down a Stone Man for a paltry 140 experience points, while Ziggy gets that big green dragon for 155. I mean, right now just the encounter luck is making a difference. Ooh, and the DL2 breath on the Stone Man. Juef is in a tight spot. The herbs being deployed. About 480 experience points from leveling up. Still quite a ways ahead of Ziggy on that, but has fallen behind on the foot race. But Juef has decided to start running from the Stone Man. I don't think he's seen a single green dragon, which is really unlucky. There's one. Ziggy just getting crazy lucky with green dragon after green dragon, and he's closing the gap to juef on experience while lengthening the gap on geography. And juef just keeps getting these terrible stonemen. I don't think Ziggy has seen a single one. But juef puts up repel, which will make those green dragons go away completely. But there's these armored knights still, and there's whatever's on the spike. Now that's a guarantee. The armored knight goes down for juef. That's worth 189 and will almost get him to the level. Neither runner even considers getting Erdrick's sword, which I agree with. Ziggy does not repel that Axe Knight. juef opts to run away from the armor knight. Yeah, no reason to fight anything right now. You're close enough to the level that virtually anything, even if you run from a few things, virtually anything that can be on that spike tile is going to get you to level 17. But he does swing on this armored knight, rolls a critical hit, gets the level. Gets a nice little MP bump that doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing really of material consequence there except for the heal more spell. And it's the spike is an Axe Knight that goes down in one hit, and juef will be comfortably in the lead entering the Dragon Lord. The Dragon Lord fight, that is. And on goes the Death Necklace. You're going to want that with the Flame Sword fight. Zylynor notably does not have a Flame Sword and is already level 17. And get out your Dancing Dragon emotes. Back attacked is juef, but he opens with a 20. He's at 32. Now 45. 56. 69. The rolls have not been great since that 20. But there's a 16, gets him to 85. And a big 19 puts him at 104. And another 19, he's at 123. $137, unless I missed one. Yeah, it should be very comfortable. 150. Could be any swing now. Likely this one. And that's going to do it for juef. Get your GGs out in chat, because he will be taking first place. And now it's overwhelmingly likely that Ziggy will get second place right behind him. Really could have, conceivably gotten lucky enough in Charlock there to overtake or, stay ahead of juef, but I think it was the experience gap was more important than the than the geographical gap, and Ziggy just needed to fight more stuff. Also, juef was able to walk a lot of that bottom floor without getting an encounter. And yeah, just being ahead on experience, he didn't have to run from as much, or he was able to run from more. Yeah, Zylynor is on his way to Charlock. He's gonna have a little bit of a challenge here. He could put on that death necklace, go to 132. I don't think he needs Erdrick's sword. I mean, I'm sure if he knew how far ahead of Destiny he was, he'd go ahead and get it. But oh wow, Ziggy out of Healmores. And down goes the Dragon Lord for Ziggy, who will finish in second place. And joining us in the booth is juef, who barely got away with that one. How you doing, juef? How do you feel?
Hey, Quinn Patrick. Thanks so much. I'm very happy about that, especially seeing how close this was. Wow. GG's to Ziggy as well. This was such a zoomy seed. It's incredible.
Yeah, that was a squeaker. You guys were entering Charlock. I think Ziggy actually had the rainbow drop down before you by all of 10 seconds. You followed him in. That was quite an exciting one. Can you tell me, juef, maybe a little bit about your grind choice? Because that was a pivotal decision point. While Ziggy and Zylynor were in Hawksness fighting that red dragon over and over again, you were on the desert tiles near Remolder taking those golems. Could you take us through that decision?
Oh, it was a very tough decision. There were 3 spots what I considered grinding, and I see now Destiny fighting metal slimes in that area where another race earlier this week ended up grinding a bunch of metal slimes. But I think we saw in that race that it was not exactly the best spot to grind, well, at least after a certain amount of strength. So I saw the red dragon, but both the red dragon and the blue dragon rolled down in XP. So I thought when I saw that golem on the desert outside of Vanilla Rimuldar, I thought this is the spot, because I ran away from one before and I saw it took almost 40 experience of my XP, so I thought he's gonna give a bunch of experience. It's gonna be worth it. And then when I saw the red dragon and armored knights were there as well, I thought this is it. I gotta stay there. There was no close town, but I figured it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and joining us in the booth now is Ziggy. GG, Ziggy. How do you feel about that one?
That was new me. I was a little bit panicking about walking in the wrong direction. I don't know exactly what was the difference, because I felt like it went kind of well for me, except for the start. Other than that, it went pretty smooth. So I'm guessing juef found something that was a little bit better than the Red Dragon and Hawk's Nest. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't, amazing.
Yeah, so the difference was that the juef was on those desert tiles near the Vanilla Remolder spot, where there were golems, armored knights, and red dragons. So that red dragon was still part of it, but really it was the golem giving 377. But you guys were super, super close. The difference through most of it was that I think juef went west first. And so he had stuff like Erdrick's armor and Fairy Flute and an experience lead, at the time where you, Ziggy, you already had all your homework items, but you didn't quite have the armor yet, and you were a long way off from the flute and were a little behind on experience. But then it all kind of converged when you guys were ready for your grinds and wound up being really, really close in the end.
What's funny about these, when Tantagel is at Garinum or at Tablet Cave, is that it really comes to whether you go east or you go south, because both sides are equally valid. There's 3 locations on the way on both sides, and so is which one are you going to do? And getting more powerful so that you can actually mow through enemies, because I ended up running a lot. I lost a lot of experience and stayed stuck at level 9, 10 for a while before I finally got gear in Cantlin and could actually fight. So I'm guessing that's where the experience difference was at that point.
Yeah, that is kind of what it seemed like, that you were a little stalled through that area. Now Zylynor starting his DL2 fight, he did get Erdrick's sword. He never bought a flame sword, so he was walking around with a broadsword, which probably would have been enough, but with Erdrick's sword he can make it super, super safe. 142 attack power is plenty. Yeah, neither of you guys went for Erdrick's sword. Did either of you think about it at all, or were you totally 100% sure that just sticking with the flame sword was going to be faster?
I just finished work and it's Friday, and so I wasn't very sure about my math, if you're wondering why I checked my stats page like 20 times. Eventually, like the new run that calculates the Dragon Lord fight actually woke up and went like, no, you absolutely win this with the flame. Just keep going. You have Fairy Waters as well, and it was kind of comfortable, even though I had a bad start.
Yeah, had I not gotten the Death Necklace, maybe I'd have considered it, but as it was with the stats we had, there was no chance I was going for the sword. There was absolutely no way it was saving time.
Yeah, that was basically my position, you know, and I was discussing it with chat. We were kind of weighing it, like, you know, but you save a little bit of time, you know, taking less swings, as you can get your GGs out now for Zylynor, who has brought down the Dragon Lord with the help of Erdrick's sword, and will come home in third place for 2 points, right ahead of Destiny, who's just wrapping up his dive here in the U room. But yeah, I was kind of the mind that, yeah, you probably don't want the sword, and watching it, you know, in real time kind of brought that into focus. Like, yeah, could you imagine now how good it would be for Ziggy if juef decided to go down that other way? Like, yeah, definitely. When you have this much attack power and it's this safe, just the flame sword is plenty. And how about the decision making when you guys, as you were going down Charlock, juef had a little bit more experience, but Ziggy was in a little sooner. It was about, I think, a 500 experience point advantage for juef going in, so he didn't have to fight as much stuff, was able to run away from more stuff. I did notice, juef, that you fought like an armored knight going into the spike, which gave you the level, when the spike also would have given you the level. Was that like a deliberate thing, or were you just kind of, you know, just kind of on autopilot there, or what was the thinking?
Yeah, a little bit of that also. Well, mostly that actually. But then after I fought it, I thought, well, maybe if the spike is something I haven't seen and it has sleep and DL2, maybe I'd want to run away, heal up, and fight it again. But really, it's I was a bit like Ziggy, I guess. I wasn't thinking too much. Just it's gonna die in like a second anyway. It's no bother. No reason not to, almost.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I was kind of hyper overanalyzing it a little bit, because I could see how close it was between you guys, and how anything could have made the difference. But we also now have Zylynor in the booth, who came in third place tonight. GG, Zylynor. How'd you feel about that one?
GG.
Yeah, GG. I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused. Clearly, I missed something, because I felt like I was doing extremely good, and then when Ziggy finished at 52, I was like, "Wait, what? How?"
Sadly, I would have liked to, but juef finished in 52. I got the 54. Sag.
Sorry.
Yeah, was there a grind somewhere that I missed, or was I just inefficient?
You and Ziggy were on the same grind, and you guys kind of followed the same line through the seed, while juef and Destiny were on kind of the alternate path, where they went south first. And you and Ziggy even converged on the same grind there in Hawksnest. It's just by the time you got there, Ziggy was there a little bit earlier and I guess got a little luckier and was able to get those levels faster. The other thing was that Juef and Ziggy both got flame swords, which probably helped a lot. Doing that grind fast, and also spared them having to get Erdrick's sword in Charlock, which saved them time.
No, fair enough. Hey, that was a fast seed.
Yeah. We've. I'm looking forward to playoffs when we might get some, real men's seeds. But for now, we're getting a lot of Jets.
Yeah, that one's rough because it's hard for me to think of anything I could have done much differently on that particular run. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a few things. I'll probably watch it back, but.
And you can get your GGs out for Destiny, who has finished up, and now it's a full spread from first through fourth place of barely 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a fast seed. What I'm surprised is Destiny actually didn't die once. What slowed him down? It's kind of strange.
The one thing that I noticed was that Destiny had a really rough time in Hawksness. He couldn't roll the crits against the Red Dragon and kept having to run away, dropped from level 12. And welcome in Destiny, who unfortunately couldn't overcome his misfortune in this seed and will come in fourth place for that 1 point. But despite all of that, barely 10 minutes behind first place. So GG's Destiny, how'd you feel about that one?
Thank you. GG's to our other runners tonight. I felt like I played that pretty well. It went pretty smooth, but when you've got a super competitive group like this in Group 2, there's no margin for error and misfortune, and Juef, Ziggy, and Zylynor clearly crushed it, and well done. I wish I would have landed some crits on that Red Dragon and Hawksness on the first or second or third attempt, but that certainly wasn't the difference maker. Well done, everyone. It was a fun seed. I really enjoyed that.
GG's to you as well. It was pretty fun, especially with those the high agility and strength stats. Critting everything was wonderful.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was bringing up about Destiny's race, that he did have that misfortune against the Red Dragon, had to run away from it a few times until ultimately running out of MP and walking all the way to Cole without beating it and getting the Fairy Flute, then having to save it Cole, which added that to the Warp Whistle rotation, then having to walk all the way back. And it was just an unfortunate turn of events that could have been completely avoided by just rolling a few more crits, which is, gets into what I was talking about before we started here, that this flag set is generally quite low variance. There's not a lot of opportunities to get like really, really lucky or really, really unlucky, except when it comes to those high critical hit rates, because you know there are cases where you just have to go in and say, I'm just going to hope for a crit because I can beat such strong monsters if I just crit. But even if you get it down to like 1 in 5 or 1 in 4, you could roll 10 times in a row and not get one. So that's just the way it goes, though. We can almost see here. Zylynor had by far the least crits of the runners that are still up. I don't know how many Ziggy got, but 52 for Zylynor out of 219 attacks.
for me in 242 attacks. So I think I had the worst crit rate.
Destiny had the most crits, but also had the most attacks. And then Juef was in the middle with 61 out of 227. But really, you want to get through on the fewest number of attacks possible is the ideal.
Did anyone else get through with 0 deaths? I was pretty happy about 0 deaths in the seed.
No, I had 4.
I
think I had 6. It looks like.
Yep, I died twice. Once in my first visit through Swamp Cave, which actually might have helped me, and once death warping for the gold grind.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet some of those deaths were because of my Red Dragon guy and didn't go as quite as critty as other people's, so I had to come back to the Red Dragon, 2-3 times?
Yeah, that is a rare treat, getting to see a fully deathless seed over an hour of play not bite the dust a single time. It takes some discipline and a lot of luck.
Those heal more numbers are impressive as well. 9 for both Zylynor and Destiny, and 10 for me.
Yeah, I think I cast it once outside of the Dragon Lord fight. So.
Did anyone actually get Erdrick's sword? I finished with Flame Sword and Death Necklace. Shouldn't have been a problem unless the gold grind was skipped along the way.
I didn't even use the Death Necklace. I didn't even get the Death Necklace and the Fighter's Ring. I saw Mountain late enough. I decided not to do it because the stats were so good.
No, I didn't get the Flame Sword because I saw Rimmeldar and then died before I got to Cantlin. And then when I went into Mountain Cave, I never got deep enough to get the Death Necklace. But I just ground up for magic armor and broadsword money and had a broadsword out of Rimmeldar, so I got Erdrick's sword at the end.
I did a gold grind at home in Mountain Cave. I opened up the chest in Tantagel knowing that there was gold and herbs and Death Necklace and Fighter's Ring down in Mountain once I saw it. So I was like, okay, I'll set up a gold grind and stumble into Cantlin eventually. And Cantlin was my last town. So that's part of the reason why I ended up with a deathless run, is because, like, number one, I was careful about saving the gold in the very beginning, just in case we found a town with a hand axe that was close by in either the tablet or the vanilla starting locations, and then got the gold grind, and then didn't want to lose all 20 whatever thousand of my gold, and so was holding on to that because I went south before I went east. So I dealt with Hawksness, I got the flute from Cole and did all of that before I went to the east, and finally made my way to Cantlin and got all of the gear eventually.
Yeah, I considered like making another play for Cantlin to get better gear, but it's like by the time that decision was ready to be made, I was like, oh, I got broadsword and magic armor. I'm not going to waste time trying to pick up a flame sword at this point. So I think it would have taken me just as much time to get a flame sword as it would have taken me to just go get the Erdrick sword. So
Yes, definitely that makes sense later in the seed like that, especially with strength and agility for the crits just getting out of control. The benefit of having the flame sword and the silver shield diminishes quickly as the seed progresses. Really interested to watch this one back. We'll see what Juef, Ziggy, and Zylynor did. Juef and Ziggy, I know, being veteran runners and having raced against them a number of times and played, both casually and in the races, knowing that this was a Jetty seed, I said a long time ago with Juef, and same with Ziggy, if we get a Jetty seed on our hands, I know I'm in trouble against these folks because they have so little they're very precise, they don't make mistakes, they make good decisions, and they're just diligent and go and are efficient, and any little misfortune or inefficiency is gonna cost you.
Yeah, I mean, this is Group 2, so Group 2 in the position round week, everyone you're racing against means business.
yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with the third place here.
I mean, at this point, so yeah, third place. We're still comfortably in playoff chances, so it's not over.
Yeah, Juef with the win there sits at 13 points, which means the minimum he can get is 15, even if he gets last place in his next two races. And 15 is usually about enough. Sometimes it's only good enough for a play-in, I think. 15 is likely the cutoff, says Aaron. So Juef can, I think, be feeling pretty good, you can, about your playoff chances. Then Ziggy will be at 11, which is still pretty solid. And yeah, Zylynor and Destiny, you guys are totally still in it. But yeah, we're going to have to see how these next 2 weeks go. How do you guys feel about next week? We're playing some chaos.
I feel like chaos goes in my favor because I'm not as experienced as the rest of these guys. So like anything to make things crazy and difficult for them is going to be better for me, I think.
But just go to the high variance flag set and hope it falls on your side.
It's funny because I feel the opposite. I feel like I don't do well in Chaos Week because I seem to have a knack for not finding the golden goose enemy that gives a ton of experience and is easy to bring down or close to home. So I was hoping to come out of here with more than 1 point because I at least enjoy Vanilla Week and I've done well with it in previous Winter Leagues. So coming out of Vanilla Week with 1 point wasn't what I was hoping for. I've really got to get it together and do well in Chaos Week and then hope for things to fall my way in week 5 as well. Week 3 really separates a lot of runners and puts some folks in some pretty comfortable spots and then puts some of us who had been doing well all of a sudden earning 1 point and feeling a little bit on the ropes.
The part I'm really excited about for week 4 is random spell cost. That's something I've never played with. Chaos, I'm kind of used to it at this point, but random spell cost, I think, is going to make some decisions very, very interesting.
Yes, we have. It was one of my favorite weeks to play test, and I have to say it can be so volatile. You can have every spell cost 8 MP and then the seed is a slug, or you can have everything cost 1 MP and then you have 20 MP and that's 20 heal mores against the Dragon Lord. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to play, but I'd say it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, just to see the amount of differences between each race and each player style. Is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. I'm kind of in the same boat as Destiny, where I feel like Chaos is one of my weaker flag sets, but I'm looking forward to the Stair Shuffle. That's where I come alive.
Yeah, that seed was pretty funny to me. I had this whole plan going in. I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to grind. Everything's going to go one way. And then got level 2 and saw that like giant strength gain. I was like, oh, never mind. That plan's out the window.
Yeah, my instinct at level 2 was to be scared of a scorpion, and then I paused for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. I have like 30 strength. What am I doing? I don't need to be scared of scorpions at this level 2. Well, this was a fun one. As usual, I want to thank all the volunteers tonight. Quinn Patrick on commentary. Who do we have tracking tonight? Was Cherno in here tracking? Yeah, and Velavi, our restreamer. And Shahali tracking as well. Appreciate it. We're looking to have a lot of vodcasts this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Watch the Discord for those announcements. And then we'll be headed into week 4.
Chaos. And thanks everybody as well.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And I gotta say extra special shout outs to both Velavi and Destiny. Velavi having covered a lot of these races in terms of as a restreamer, and Destiny having covered a ton of these races as an admin. He's been working a lot for everyone, and he's a perfect guy. He's always punctual. He's always kind to everyone. He's a friend. He's great. Thank you, Destiny.
I'm blushing right back at you, Jeff. It's been a blast.
Yeah, for sure. Big thanks to our behind-the-scenes crew and to our admins. It looks like we're going to be raiding Linda Nushi, who is playing speedrunning Dragon Quest IV on Famicom. So we'll send you guys right over there as soon as we are done here. Yeah, that's Linda Nushi, Aaron, is the name. Someone who Velia V found, I guess.
All right, well, that was fun to see you guys. I got to get rolling with my day. Good games.
Discord for broadcasts for the VODs Saturday and Sunday. Hope we can get some help for covering those if you're available. And GG's again, Juef, Ziggy, and Zylynor. Appreciate it. Have a good night and good luck with the rest of your races.
GG's, man.
GG's.
See you soon. No, I need to eat. I am starving. I'm done.